Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Even Year Dynasty Show. We have special guest today, Charlie Szykowny, joining us.
Nice to be here. Excited. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining, man. This is you're the second player that we had join us so far this off season. So it's amazing that you're willing to do this, and especially you're the first one to come do this as a live show with us. So it's gonna be really cool. Hopefully we can get a good amount of people joining in here, and they'll be dropping some questions and things like that. I know we have a lot of different topics that we're gonna cover with you, I'm sure. And you can stick around as long as you got. I don't know if you have a kind of a time limit on that, but just let us know if you ever got a dip.
So. Sounds good. I'm free.
Sweet.
Let's do it.
Well, do you guys have anything you want to lead them off with, or do you want me to just start it?
I kind of do have one thing. Charlie, I was noticing both on the chat here and on your social media, you hashtag Fortnite a lot. What's the meaning behind that?
It's just it's the greatest game that has probably come out in history, and I liked it from the beginning, and I like to stick with it, I guess. Hey, I like to think it helped make me a pro baseball player too. So, tough game, good game. Fortnite's always there for me.
There you go.
I gotta ask. We'll get into the baseball stuff in a sec. I gotta ask: build or no build?
It depends what I'm feeling. It depends who I'm playing with. If I'm just by myself, probably no build. I can't compete with that. But if I'm playing with some of my sweatier friends, I'll get in there and compete. I'll hold my own.
Sure. There you go.
Mark's jumping in early. Says, "Hope to see you in the big leagues. Good luck." So,
thanks,
he's
Mark.
one of our regulars. So, So you're from near. I wrote down Oak Lawn, Illinois, which I had no clue where that was, being born and raised on the West Coast, and it looks like it's kind of near Chicago. And I saw that you attended University of Wisconsin Stout. Is that correct?
Yep.
Stout.
Yeah. And then you went on to University of Illinois Chicago. Was that more driven by wanting to come home? Did you want to try and get some D1 ball before pursuing going pro?
I mean, I put in my 4 years at Stout, and I ran out of classes there, and I was trying to get drafted out of there. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and thankfully to COVID. The best part about COVID was these extra years of baseball, because then I was able to go play D1 and show what I could do there, and got the opportunity for the Giants to see me. So that was basically the goal of the transfer. I loved my time at Stout, but with the pro ball, and I ran out of classes too.
Yeah.
You correct me if I'm wrong. You set the single season score record at Stout, right, for home runs in 22?
Yeah.
18.
I did 18. Yeah, I think it's 18.
Sir.
Yeah, that was cool.
Awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah, it's funny because it was before your final year there, and this is what I was trying to get the screenshot of. I'm just gonna go ahead and just share the page, and it'll people can see this. It's actually your pinned tweet that you have on your X account, which I thought was pretty cool, because you had kind of your first few years, you obviously you did pretty well. But you said you're sitting here watching the MLB playoffs, give me 3 to 10 years. And you proceeded to break the school record on home runs and really break out that following year. And then, of course, you go to the University of Illinois Chicago, and you have another really, really good year there. And, obviously you got drafted in the 9th round the following draft there. So I just thought this was cool. It's not really a question in this, but I just thought it was, a cool thing that, I like to see the confidence. I like to see that, you kind of put this out there and then you really backed it up like right away. Just thought it was a cool thing to share with a lot of the people watching today.
Appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of work left to get that into fruition, but I like to keep it out there. I like to, I don't know, Conor McGregor used to talk about it before he went crazy, but like putting stuff out there, and it like tends to happen if you truly believe in what you're putting out there. It's like the law of attraction. So yeah, that's why I put that out there.
Yeah. Now, So draft process, did you know the Giants were interested? Did you not have like a lot of information? Was it kind of just were you kind of hearing different things? Were there other teams you heard about too?
The draft process that year was I did a bunch of workouts actually because I was in a fortunate spot where I could be a money saver with being a fifth year, and the Giants one was actually really funny because I couldn't make the original Giants workout that they invited me to because I got invited to do a Tigers one in the Tiger Stadium, so I was obviously going to choose to do it in the big league stadium. And then, but I texted the local scout, like I could work out UIC if we don't meet there, like a separate time or whatever. And they actually contacted me like, when was the draft? Like the 9th or something, like July 9th or 7th. I think it was the 7th. But he texted me like June 25th, like, hey, we go to this like local high school field and do it. And it was like just me and one other dude. We had BP and took some grounders at a high school field, and I didn't even think anything of it because it was like last second. It was like a week before the draft, and it ended up being huge. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I was barely talking to the Giants.
Yeah, it's still pretty awesome. And when you have you been to Oracle Park yet? I don't know if you were in that group that kind of went. I know every offseason they do grab a handful of prospects. They come out, do some workouts at the park and all sorts of different things. I think it just happened for a couple weeks ago. I know the organization put out a video. Did you do that last season? Because I know you weren't there this offseason, but were you there for last season's?
No, I didn't get invited to that. I did. I had been to Oracle once though. I went to a game there.
Okay.
Last season we did an off day and we went to Oracle. Got the crazy crab sandwich. I think it was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So good.
It's the best $22 sandwich you'll ever have.
Yeah, $22. I tell all my friends that go there, I was like, you gotta get it. You gotta get it.
Oh man. Okay. You guys got anything you want to ask or?
So I was curious, growing up in the Chicago area, which team did you grow up rooting for between the Cubs and the White Sox? Assuming it's one of those two.
South side. Yep, White Sox all the way. Yeah, anyone but the Cubs and the White Sox is how I was taught growing up.
And what was it like being?
Kind of like sorry to interrupt. It's kind of like why I like this LA Giants rivalry. I like it a lot because I could feel that hate that comes from the Giants side a lot. It's kind of like how much the White Sox hate the Cubs. So it's pretty cool to be a part of one of those.
Yeah, it's funny because there was always this little built-in rivalry with the Giants and A's, and but you ask most Giants fans, and most Giants fans I feel like didn't really care about that one as much. It was just you guys aren't the Dodgers. We don't we don't care about this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The other thing I was going to ask on top of that, seeing you're a Lions fan, what was that like growing up in Chicago?
Yeah, I get made fun of all the time because I'm like Chicago, everything but my football team because my uncle put the disease on us of being Lions fans. But it was pretty rough growing up because the Bears were just not even the Bears were being good, but just better than the bad Lions. So yeah, I get picked on a little bit, but hopefully it'll pay off here.
For sure.
Well, I was gonna say, well, they went to a Super Bowl in that time frame, and then I realized that you were. I don't even know if you might have been watching football by then.
No, I was. I remember that game. Yeah, they got that hot start and they ended up choking it. So it was beautiful. It was best case scenario.
That's awesome. Oh man. So obviously this was your first year full season ball. 2023, you got I think you played 12 games. So you got kind of a cup of coffee in pro ball. Then this season, you start off in A ball. I know you had kind of, I think you were injured to start the year, and you went to
handmade injury.
Okay, yeah, and then you played 56 or so games, got promoted, and then you went to High A up in Eugene, which is kind of up near me now. What was the biggest difference you saw kind of in the stuff for pitchers in particular? What was the biggest difference you saw between A ball and High A?
I'd probably say like more strikes, more like pitchers controlling the zone a little bit more. Like everyone in San Jose or Low A had like good stuff, but like not everyone knew where it was going necessarily. So I guess more strikes and more like, especially with the off-speed pitches, more a little more control of the off-speed pitches and more pitchers pitching rather than throwing. I guess would be the big two things. Uh, Especially with the like when they get older, I feel like there's more college guys in IA too. So I think that helps with the knowing how to pitch a little bit better.
Okay. Nice. Is there anything that you learned in the 40 or so games you played in Eugene that you're taking into this offseason where you're like, okay, I really want to, work on X, Y, or Z this offseason?
I mean, kind of from the whole year, I wouldn't say that really changed much for me on how I was going to like approach the off season, but I guess more of taking it one game at a time because I think I went through a little bit longer of a rough stretch in Eugene there. So just kind of learning how to deal with failure better. Not that I mean, you deal with failure every way with the 130 games, but I guess like I don't know, just taking it day by day more, taking it less seriously.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, just looking at your stats from this past season, I got what, 295, 6 home runs, 56 RBIs, 813 OPS. Like that's solid, man. So was there like anything that you want to like anything in your game specifically that you think, kind of stood out this past season and anything that you think you might need to, kind of touch up a little bit?
I would say getting into like my pretty good bat to ball skills. So I guess
For sure.
swinging at better pitches because if I'm swinging at it, I'm probably hitting it, and it didn't always lead to the best contact. But so I guess swinging at better pitches will get me to like better power numbers and just more consistent on the barrel, I guess, instead of just like swinging at a pitch just because it's in the strike zone.
No, for
That's
sure.
the main goal this offseason is just getting into a better position to swing, so I swing at pitches that I want to crush. So that's what I'm going to try to do damage.
Is there certain like exercises or techniques that you do in your own time to kind of like work on that?
So far this offseason, it's been more of fixing like my setup because I don't know if you guys have seen my swing at all. It's kind of a bigger swing, so I'm trying to cut it down a little bit so I could get to that more consistent spot. I'm trying to get rid of like that whole thing. So I guess just working on that with this like certain drill work with I like flips a lot. That's my main drill because I could really slow it down and then I could go to a machine where I can make it a harder environment, but then I could always dial it back to flips, simplify it, and then go back to it.
For sure.
Nice.
And that kind of leads into what I was going to ask is that something that coaches have brought up to you, or is there anything in particular that they asked you to work on this offseason?
I think I mean it's a team effort for sure. Like we have end of year meetings and we'll talk about like how it went, what we could do better, what we did good, and I guess and then I bring up with like what I think I should do this offseason and we'll just kind of bounce it back and forth. And it kind of came to that conclusion of like getting to better spots and how we could do it. Like they would give me an idea of what I could do with my swing. I'd be like, all right, well, what if I did it this way? And I just kind of try to meet in the middle and like just bouncing ideas off each other in the cage was a big help.
Nice. Have you talked to any of, obviously the Giants had a regime change at the top where now Posey and Zach Manassian and Randy Wynn is going to be doing like player development. Have you talked with any of those guys this offseason since?
I haven't talked to them. No. I'm pretty excited about it though. I mean, Buster's a giant goat, so that's gonna be pretty exciting.
I think anybody around baseball knows that
too.
name.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, he's the one on my jersey right now. So
yeah.
Oh, let's
legend.
go.
Legend.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I like this because this is something that we've been kind of, talking about your college career a little bit and now in pro ball. Was there a moment that, you realized you could play professionally?
I'd probably say because I was a pretty big contact hitter like my entirety of my life, and I was like 5'9" when I graduated high school, and then I was like paper thin, and I went to summer ball freshman year, and I got my butt kicked, and then I came back to D3 COVID, and I was able to like just be at home and lift and try to get as big as possible. And then junior year, I went to a summer ball and I learned how to hit homers. And then when I learned how to hit for power there, I was like, oh, maybe I do have a shot at this.
Yeah.
Which is around the time I tweeted that tweet too.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wow, I can't. I didn't hit my first home run like in my entire life until I think that COVID summer. So
Oh, jeez.
I guess around that time when I could figure you have to hit a home run first before you could think about playing pro.
There you go.
So yeah.
Where do you see yourself starting out this year? Do you think you'll be back in Eugene to start the season, or do you think they'll have you start up in Richmond?
I have no clue. I guess we'll see how spring training goes. I probably think they'll put me in Eugene just because I struggle near the end there. So I guess wherever they put me, be ready to go.
Do you have they given you any kind of indication where they want you, playing defensively? Because I know in college you kind of played all over, and I think you got drafted as a shortstop technically, but I think you played third and first. It seems is all you've really been at since you've been in pro ball. Is that kind of the plan?
Yeah, it's cool to be playing shortstop in pro baseball. It seems like that I'm fitting the third base profile a little more. Yeah, I think mainly third base. Third base, yeah. Probably a little bit at first whenever Bryce isn't playing, but which isn't often. So mainly third base.
Because I did want to bring up the three of us were talking about it earlier today. I remember looking at a video you uploaded about 6 years ago where you were classified as infield/catcher.
Okay. Yeah. I went into college as a catcher, and then I don't know. I was only really good at throwing dudes out, so they moved me back to the infield where I played a lot of infield in high school too. So yeah, it's been a minute since I got behind the dish.
Yeah, love it. Let's see. Here was an interesting one. Who do you like to model your game after?
Ooh, that's a good question. Wow. I mean, growing up, I guess it was like, I grew up watching AJ. I loved watching the way he played the game. AJ Brzezinski was a lot of fire, but I guess that's why my favorite player is Bryce Harper. So I guess a lot of him too. Like, I don't know, it's like controlled emotion. I guess later in his career, it's been more controlled emotion. I guess is I try to do it after. He just dudes that play the game hard, like those two.
Okay. Well, I definitely think it's funny because you also remind us. I don't know. You remind me at least. I know I've seen the video of you getting hit by a pitch and you like sprinted it out to first, and also lots of things like that too. And I know it's funny because I hear people bring up like Brandon Nimmo with that, but it's funny when I saw that I immediately thought of Hunter Pence just because watching the Giants. And
he's a gritty dude.
Yeah. I was like, I can see it,
there.
Yeah.
I like that.
Let's see what else we got.
Is there anybody in particular you feel like your swing looks very similar to?
I feel like I've been told like Brandon Belt. I've seen her a couple of times, and then I heard a little bit of Bryce Harper, but I don't know. I don't really see the Bryce Harper one because when he had the massive leg kick, and now he does like a toe tap. But with the two-hand finish, I think that's where I get that. But those are the only two. I've heard a lot of Brandon Belt though, because he steps across a little bit.
Yeah.
How tall was Belt? I feel like they're pretty similar in size, right? You're 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah, 6'4".
Okay, yeah.
I didn't even think about Brandon Belt. That's an interesting comparison.
I see it now, honestly, now that he says that.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that.
I'm just envisioning their swing side by side. I'm like, okay, yeah, it makes sense.
He puts them in the bay, right? In the order there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
He had really good pop.
Yeah, you're left-handed, so you'll have a chance.
Yeah, there we go.
I guess we could technically say a righty has a chance now because someone's done it, but
yeah, right.
Tough.
That guy's a freak.
Yeah, that's
Ramos.
insane.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So we've got a few in here that people are asking. Who's the biggest influence that's been on your career? On you and
Definitely,
your career.
definitely my dad. My dad is like, he's still after every game texts me, "Gotta dive for that ball." Why did you swing the bat there? Like he just every game. He's definitely he's my coach for forever. I think at this point. So definitely, we share a love of baseball. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Does he get to a lot of the games, or does he? Are they still in Illinois, or do they travel? Do a bunch of the games, or do they just I watch like the minor league TV app like all day long, basically. So
Yeah, they try to. They try to. It's a little harder. They're hoping I could get up to Richmond because it's a little closer. It's like 10-hour drives, but the West Coast so far. They came. When did they come this year? They were here like in June, and then they came again. And maybe it was just June. I think they just came once this year. And then last year they came at the end of the year too. But yeah, no, when I was up in Stout too, they would make that 6-hour drive every weekend, 5-hour. But they were pumped when I transferred to UIC, is right down the street. So they try
that's
to.
awesome.
They try to.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And yeah, Richmond's not that far, right?
No, it's like, yeah, I think it's like 9 or 10 hours. So it's closer
Okay.
than 20, like usually
Yeah.
in
Well,
San
and they
Jose.
play all over.
Yeah,
They
right.
play all over the Northeast. So I'm sure that there are some. I don't know every team that's in that league, if I'm being honest, but I'm sure there's some that are even closer.
Some of those Pennsylvania, Ohio. I think there's a couple in Ohio too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should be
Nice.
cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you have a favorite moment from this past season?
Favorite moment. There's one game where our head coach, coach or Skip Viegas got ejected in Lake Elsinore, and Bryce hit like a double off the wall, and our guy in first was like tagging up, so then became second and third, and then I hit a triple to the right center, and then someone hit me in on a sac fly, all in the ninth inning after our head coach got ejected like the inning before on some balk call. So it was weird balk call, and we came back and won it. It was sick. Either that or Nadir Lewis hit a home run that hasn't landed yet in San Jose in the ninth inning to tie it up. We were like 2 outs in the ninth, and he had 2 strikes, I think, two even, and he just hit a nuke onto the hockey rink in San Jose. It might have hit the hockey rink because I think it did. Those are my two favorites.
I'd have to see if I can find that one because I mean I remember Bryce hitting a ball like we joked it like went into like a cow pasture
Oh, yeah, I
on
remember
on the TV. It was it was like just grass and it looked like it was just like honestly a farm out
Oh
there.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I was
I
like
think I know what
I
you're
don't think that
talking
ball landed.
That was up
Yeah,
in
he's got a couple of
Washington,
those.
I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was to like left center. Oh my god, that ball's. I was
yeah.
on second for that. It got over my head in like a millisecond. It felt like. Holy cow! And that was the day the
Someone
ball, like the wind was blowing in. It felt like I don't even know how he did that.
yeah. So someone asked this, so I'm going to ask, but I'm going to kind of expand this question as well because he said, uh, to answer Mark's question, yes, he did play with Bryce for. Well, you played with them both in San Jose and in Eugene, right? There was some
Yeah,
overlap
yeah.
in both.
Mm-hmm.
And you played with them in the fall league. Obviously, you played with Bryce a ton last season. So they want to know what was your opinion, watching his game. And then also, I'm just going to expand that to like a bunch of your teammates. Just like, is there any players that you played with that you feel like watching that are going to just like really bust out next season?
I mean, we got a lot of good dudes in our
Yeah.
farm system. I think we got.
Yeah.
It feels like it's like a college program at a lot of times, and it's awesome. Like playing with Bryce, he's a high school kid, and he's able to come in and like you give him a hard time for him being young, but like he's still able to like he's so like comfortable, and I don't think anyone really gives him a hard time, and it's really good. He's a good dude. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Guys that I think are gonna break out, I don't know. It could be anyone. I feel like we all had pretty good years last year. Like in San Jose, at least the one I was in San Jose, like we were winning and everyone was banging. So
Mhm.
I don't know if I could really pick one. Besides
Yeah.
Bryce, I mean, he's gonna
Yeah.
be in the bigs next year. I'll go with Bryce.
Yeah, that's probably a good bet, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome.
Or Trent. Trent Harris is nasty.
Yeah.
He's
I've
nasty.
I've told people that I think he'll be in the bigs next season too.
Yeah, his
Honestly.
slider or curveball is disgusting
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
both of them.
crazy.
Who was your favorite guy to play with in either San Jose or Eugene last year?
I lived with Luke Schliger in spring training, San Jose, so I would go with him. We hung out a lot together. Took a we When we got our All-Star break, we went on a little trip too with our girlfriends, and it was pretty fun. We get along pretty well with him.
Nice.
Nice. Let's see. Okay, so Joaquin asks if you have any superstitions or any rituals.
I don't like to say I'm a little stitious, but I'm
Superstition.
definitely stitious. I mean, I don't know where you want to start with these. I feel like I have quite a few. I always had to like, or at least in college, I got a little less of it now because there was no Dunkin' Donuts in Eugene, so I had to alter it a little bit. I used to eat a Boston cream donut before every game, like right before stretch. That'd be one. I gotta get a certain amount of swings in off the tee right when I walk in there. Uh, I mean, I feel like I got okay. I'll just go with my main one. I need to chew this extra watermelon gum as my gum. I have to have 3 pieces in every all points in the game. If I get out, I'll spit it out, get a new 3. If I get a hit, I'll keep chewing it until I get out. That's my main one. If I don't have
Okay.
that, I don't know if I'll be able to play baseball. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So you stick with like a certain flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be on the spearmint, but I switched to watermelon. It started hitting well, so never went back.
Yeah. Nice. I mean, hey, though, at least none of those are. We talked with Casey Schmidt like a couple weeks ago, and I mean, he was over here telling us that like if he was on a hitting streak, he didn't like wash his stuff, and it was like, dude.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
It works.
Man.
Whatever works.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, you get on enough, you get a long enough hit streak there. Like I think pitchers are just gonna like pitch around you for a game just so you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man. So do you have any well, actually Rick asked how you enjoyed Fall League, and also do the Giants take care of you guys? Which I mean, I've seen a lot of videos with like Papago Park and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, we have definitely the best spring training facility, I think, and they feed us really good. Unlimited protein shakes, so I take advantage of that. But they treat us really well there. Like if you ever have a question, like they don't make you feel like nervous to ask or anything. Like I said, it kind of feels like college. Like nobody's like we got no bad people. It feels like in that org. It's awesome. It's like everyone's a family. It's really cool. The fall league was awesome, especially because we were at our home park. It made it probably a little bit cooler too. But no, that was a really, really cool experience just to be around a bunch of dudes that raked and shoved. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch up close and be a part of. So
yeah. I mean, you held your own, and I mean, you finished the fall league really strong. I know that. Last handful of games, you were hitting hard.
yeah, it was cool. I mean, it's always fun to hit in Arizona too. So that helps. Seems like the ball flies there.
Oh yeah. Well, what was it like playing with Bo down there?
But Bo, I played with him a little bit in San Jose too, but I guess he got hurt. So I guess I didn't play as much as I thought. Bo, yeah, playing with Bo is awesome. He's a character. He's a lot of fun to be around. He always keeps it interesting. So it's awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, he seems like a super energetic guy, and he really turned it on big time at the end of last season. So we're kind of keeping a close eye on him too. So it was really cool to see you two and Bryce all get to play together for a little while there at the end of the season.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then Drew Kavanaugh was there too, and I don't know, it's like it felt like we were the most camaraderie team there in our own locker room even. So it was just really cool experience.
Yeah, because you guys had a lot of guys from the Giants that like specifically like played together all season. It wasn't like all over the place where a bunch of different levels that maybe had never met, but like you guys had all been either in San Jose together, Eugene together, or both together. It seemed like
Yeah,
all
right.
the
Even
guys
the
had,
pitchers. Yeah, that was it was
yeah,
pretty cool. Like there was no like awkward. It was like just picking up where we left off like 2 weeks prior. So yeah, it was really cool.
yeah, nice. Okay, so
Seen
do you
Joaquin.
have any?
I was gonna say I seen
So
Joaquin.
obviously,
That's one that I was gonna touch on real quick. Just on like a personal aspect of you, what do you like to do outside of the game?
Outside the game, I guess a lot of y'all are into hiking. I know some of those guys are. Yeah, I know I've done that Camelback one twice. One with one of the Giants made us do for a camp one time. But I guess I like the golf. A lot of the guys like the golf. It's just a little de-stress, I guess. A game still, but still swinging, just not baseball. So, and then I like to play the boys like to play some video games, whether it's Fortnite or MLB The Show. And those are probably the main two things during the season that we're doing, if not playing baseball.
There you go.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you spending the off season back home in the Chicago area, or are you working out here on the West Coast this year?
Currently I'm in Chicago. Yeah, I'm training at UIC because with Zelensky actually, because we both live right around here, so it's kind of cool. We could work out together all off season, and I'm probably gonna head up or down, I guess, to Arizona sometime in January or February.
Nice.
We got a really nice facility at UIC here, so it works out really well.
There you go.
And is there any other guys in the Giants system you played like any kind of collegiate like summer ball or anything like that with?
No, actually, I've noticed that too, because some of these guys will say they play with each other. I guess I just missed them or played in different leagues because not a lot of Woods Bandits in this in our organization, but a lot of those guys played in the Cape Cod, so I stayed
Yeah.
more in the Midwest, I guess. Or I just missed them. Yeah. No, never with or against, really.
Yeah, because we spoke with Xander Darby, or Jacob Christian, and he was telling us how he played summer ball with Xander Darby back when he was in college. So that was kind of interesting to see two ex teammates getting paired up together.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. It's really cool. Like even Zane, when I was in the fall league, Zane was down there for a camp. So just seeing him in the Giants, I was like, let's go. Like,
That's
I don't
sweet.
know, it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's awesome. Do you have any kind of timeline when you're going to head down to Arizona?
Probably. I mean, we have January camp. I don't know if I'll be invited to that or not. So I guess depending on that, it could be mid-January, but I'll probably head up like February 1st, I think, around there.
Okay,
Yeah, get there a little bit before spring training starts.
nice. Do you have anyone that you go down, any of your teammates that you go down there early with that you like to go do workouts with and all that?
Last year I was down there with Quinn McDaniel. I was bumming it on his couch for a month prior before spring training. Yeah, no, it was good. Me and him train in the same kind of way, so it works out really well. Like to get a lot of swings off.
That guy can move. That can motor.
Yeah, and he knows how to lift. He's pretty jacked, so good combo.
Yeah. How tall is he? Because I swear when I watch a game, like he does not look. Almost reminds me of Altuve. I think he's taller by a few inches, but like he's not. He doesn't look that. And I mean, I'm pot calling the kettle black, man. I'm like 5'6", so like I'm short, but like it's funny because some of you guys are like you are like 6'4", so he just looks like he's not that big. And he hit some bombs last season.
Yeah, he does. He's got a lot of juice when he gets it on time. I'm telling you, he's jacked. But I think he's like 5'10". I wouldn't say maybe 5'11". Slinger might be 5'7". He might be there.
Just
Cody, Cody,
sorry, guys.
Yeah, I was like, Charlie's gonna go have to tell him that now, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Good luck getting him on the show, bro.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, everyone.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to say this, but
Fair enough.
yeah,
Hey, he's a
Eugene's got a
baller,
weird
though.
camera there. Yeah, he is.
yeah.
He is. Good player.
He's the funniest guy on the team.
Funniest guy in the team. What do you think? I mean, Bo says some crazy stuff. I don't know if it's funny or dumb, but Bo would probably have to be out there, or Drew Kavanaugh's a pretty funny guy too. He's always got something to say. So I go with one of those two.
Yeah, Bo just seems like a character.
Yep, never know what's gonna come out of his mouth. So
And we kind of also saw they've been playing around with you as coming in relief a lot down in the minors. How has that been? I saw you did a little bit of pitching in college, but see they've actually letting you get out there on the mound a few times.
yeah, not yet in pro ball. Not yet in pro ball. I don't think that'll be a hopefully it will never be an option for me because I'll be able to hit. But I guess it's nice to know I could always do it if I need to. I think they'll never let me get up there again because they'll know I'll try to throw it as hard as I can. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you top out at?
in college it was like 94 or 95. So
I was
that
gonna
was just a
say,
few. That was just out of relief, though. I don't know. Take it for what it's worth.
I was gonna say at your size, I'm sure you could throw pretty good. And like I said, I did see you did that in college, so that would be interesting. Cody kind of spoke with Casey Schmidt about that a little bit because he was actually closing a little bit in college. So we got a few guys that have shown it off a little bit. That would be kind of fun to see at some point.
That'd be really cool to get to do. I just wish I don't know if they'd ever let me.
Yeah, you answered my question, which was going to be like, would you throw as hard as you could, or would you go out there and Tyler Fitzgerald it and throw like a bunch of ephuses?
I mean, if I absolutely need to go out there, I'd probably I'd have to do at least one as hard as I can just to see what I get up to, right?
Have to.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, have they talked to you at all about moving to other positions more just for added versatility, not necessarily moving you off of like third or first?
I mean a little bit. I mean, they always say that's like one of the Giants' way is like anyone can play anywhere, and that's kind of like how you need to be in this organization. Like if they need you to go somewhere, you can. So I guess in that sense, like in BP, you'll try to get work in other positions and try to get some reps, but that's about it for that, for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's definitely something three of us were curious about.
Yeah. Cameron, I think he actually answered this question. I might have just pulled one that he already kind of mentioned earlier today, but favorite or what drills do you run during spring training, and what's your favorite hitting drill? I think you already mentioned that.
Yeah, we touched on it earlier. Do you want me to answer it again?
No, I can't. Yeah, Cameron, just go ahead and back up the video a little bit. I think he mentioned that already. So let's see. Just kind of pull everybody's stuff here. Being a 5-year college player, what is the biggest adjustment you have had to make approaching the game like a pro?
More pressure. I wouldn't say necessarily more pressure. I could see how it would be a thing. I try to not put the added pressure on there because it doesn't help anything adding
Yeah.
pressure. But I feel like that. I mean, I feel like I've been going at my baseball career as a pro for a while now because that's where, like, I feel like even from high school, like I wanted to be a pro baseball player. So that's how I approached my game. Is practice, 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 and trust it in the game, and whatever happens, happens. You can only That's all you can really do is trust your work. So I guess that's kind of how I've gone about it. So I guess the biggest adjustment would be like the playing every single day. Like in summer ball, you do it in the woods. We did for 72 and 75, but this is like 131 games, and I don't know how many months would it be. So 131 and 150 days. So
Yeah.
it's a little different when you're going back out there and you're 0 for 4, 0 for 4, maybe one more 0 for 4, and you got to go out there again. It's like, I guess the biggest adjustment is just forgetting about it and just one day at a time and like controlling what you could control.
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be the biggest
Trust the
thing.
process.
Yep. Always. Even when there's nothing to trust, it seems like.
Yeah. Nah. Which he followed up and said, "Who's the nastiest pitcher you faced so far?"
My pro career?
Could be a teammate, I guess, because you guys do face each other.
Could be. Yeah. Nastiest pitcher. I feel like that one, what was his name? I'm so bad with names and pitchers. I try to forget them, especially if they got me out.
I'll just tell the chat to go Google it. If
There's this lefty for I want to say his name was Sean something. That Painter kid was also pretty nasty. He threw pretty hard, and I think he was accidentally cutting pitches. So that Painter kid too was pretty nasty. Andrew Painter, I think his name is. That's
Phillies
the most recent one in
organization.
my head. Yeah. Throwing accidental
this wasn't on the
cutters at me.
scouting report.
Yeah. I remember walking back like, all right.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about personal goals for you, like for end of this season? Like as far as where you'd like to be, as far as in the system and like numbers wise.
I don't really have a goal. I don't really have a goal for where I end up, as that's not something I could control. So, I think that's the worst thing. At least I've been in this for like a year or so, but like it seems like guys that focus on that are miserable because like you can't control it, so you're just getting pissed at something you can't even control. So I got nothing on that end. But me and Quinn McDaniel will bet for first one to go 2020 for steak dinner. So first one to 20 homers. So 20 homers would be my goal for that. Like 20 doubles too. I don't know. I haven't thought about the doubles. Just that bet.
Yeah. Well, the double, yeah, because you had like 26, I think, this past season, and doubles. I thought you were saying 2020 like with stolen bases because I felt like you got a good amount of speed. But
Yeah, no, with the
Okay.
bases. Yeah, no, that 2020 bets with
Okay.
the bases. Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out this year.
There you go.
Yeah, I was shocked because I mean I remember every time I watch you play, if a ball found a hole or anything, like you could fly. And then I looked at the end of your year and I think you only had like 4 or 5 stolen bases, and it actually shocked me. So
Yeah, no, I definitely need to get on that a little bit this next year.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of more green lights on the bases.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. Do you have how are you approaching this like how you are approaching this off season different than kind of last off season?
I'd say I guess like because I wouldn't even say it's much different. Like I'm doing a lot of the same things, same routine, but like I guess I'm working a little more on the mental side, like
Okay.
like caring. I don't want to say caring less, but like trying to care less because I get pretty intense sometimes. So I'm trying to be a little more loose with everything I do and just know that the work I'm putting in is going to work and pay off. So I guess more on the mental side and staying cool in the box.
Cameron did confirm it's Andrew Painter.
Yeah.
For the Phillies.
Yeah. That's Tommy John attorney.
He says he's basically Google. That's hilarious.
So here's an important question. Wilson or Rawlings guy?
Well, I'm a Wilson guy.
There we go.
Wilson guy. I think I've been asked this before too. Like, am I going to switch? But I feel like it's like whatever you had when you were little. That seems to be the consensus. Not many
For
people
sure.
switch up on it.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any current or any players on the Giants like current roster right now that you've met, talked with, worked with kind of in the off season? I know you've been playing third and obviously they just extended Chapman there. Great guy to, I'm sure, kind of learn from at that position. He's been doing it at a high level for a long time. Is there any guys that you've worked with?
I've worked with Elliot Ramos a little bit. Me and McDaniel were in there last year when we were there early for spring training. So he had a lot. I mean, we're basically the same age, but I think he's been in the minors or what is he has high school, right?
Yeah, he was 17.
So he's been there for a while, and we're just in the cages a couple of times, bouncing ideas off each other, and mainly him bouncing to me. But no, he was a good one to work with. He's a really good dude.
Yeah, he's we all, you know, he had a, you know, obviously a path that was a lot of you know, trials and tribulations on his way up.
Yeah,
So I think
exactly.
he's a good
Definitely
guy.
got some knowledge. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
Yeah.
Have you
Right.
spent
Anybody in the
any time
chat,
at
if you
all?
guys, yeah.
I was just gonna
What'd
say,
you
have
say?
you spent any time at all with Will Clark as far as hitting goes
Well,
and down in
Thrill,
Arizona?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was there in San Jose and then for a week, and then he came to the fall league for a week. He's awesome. I love that guy. He'll tell you how it is, and it's probably right the way he's telling you. So he's
Yeah.
just awesome to listen to. He's got a million stories, and it's great to hear him talk about it. He's a legend. He's a
Very
legend.
blunt for sure.
Very.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's awesome. He's a great guy to have around. Like every time he's around, it's just like, let me go talk to him. Let me see what he's gonna say.
Was there
I don't
any?
know if you ever listened to. Oh, go ahead, Ricky.
Oh, I was just gonna say, was there any specific like main hitting advice that he gave you, as far as your swing goes when he saw you?
I mean, I got into a little bit of the habit of like not using my legs, I guess you could say, and he's just telling me I'm a big guy. Start hitting like one, and you want to drop tilt on the ball, and he said I'm not doing it, so I started
That
trying to
sounds
work on it with him in San Jose.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that was
sounds-
his exact wording too.
Yeah, that's the PG version. We'll say like that.
That's awesome. Oh man,
That's funny.
he's asking if you've ever been to Steelville.
I have never been to Steelville. I
Interesting.
don't know. I don't know where that's at.
It's in Illinois. That's all. I can't. I could barely
Yeah,
find
fair
Illinois
enough.
on a map, so I'm not gonna try and guess where that one is.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
On the Illinois topic, this is totally off topic, but just curious. Chicago pizza the best pizza?
Oh yeah. I lived in New York for a summer too, so I have this opinion. I think it's the best pizza.
Okay.
Even if it's the bar pizza, it doesn't even have to be the deep dish. Deep dish though is probably the best.
And what's the best place to go in Chicago? Because I went there a few years back, and I swear everybody gave me a different place to go to.
My personal favorite is the crumbled sausage deep dish at Gino's East. That's my best. And then for regular pizza, that's not deep dish. Art of Pizza is my favorite.
Okay.
So if you guys are ever in Chicago, you gotta hit those two up.
Nice.
Someplace I've
Yeah,
never
man.
been. Never been to Chicago.
I'll
Oh, you
expand
need-
the question
too.
on this one. He asked if you ever played hockey, but did you play any other sports growing up, or was it pretty much just all baseball?
I never played hockey. All my siblings did. I don't know why my dad never put me in it, but I played basketball, football, and baseball basically all my life. I stopped playing basketball my junior and senior year of high school, but every other year I played all three.
All right. Well, anybody in the chat, just so you guys know, we'll probably keep this going for at least a few more minutes, but fire away questions. I see like 170 people are watching this right now. So if you guys got more questions for
Oh, wow.
Charlie. Yeah.
I did have a White Sox related question for you, since we found out that's who your team was growing up. What do you think about what's going on with ownership and them potentially moving out of Chicago?
That would be devastating if they moved out of Chicago. I think it's be ridiculous, especially just because he clearly doesn't care. It seems like I don't want to say anything, but they should. I don't know if they really want to move it for that reason. They could move it. There's a cool spot they had picked out, like I don't know, south side that's a little closer to the city. That'll involve the skyline. I think that can maybe rejuvenate the franchise, I guess. But it is sad. That's just the only way to put it.
We've
He's
kind of
such a
talked about
cop-out.
it. Yeah, I agree. We've kind of talked about it a little bit on here, but in the past, and it kind of reminds us a lot of what happened here in Oakland with the A's, as far as just ownership almost seemingly trying to, sabotage the team in a way and kind of just drive fans away. So it's like you said, a cop out to maybe potentially move. So I was just curious what you thought about that growing up over there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the only way to put it is sad. And I don't even know. We had a White Sox family chat, and they say like, I don't even know if they'd root for him if they left just because of how sad it's been lately. But I think they would. But yeah, no,
Like, what
that's
are
the
you gonna
only
do?
way to
Go
put
root
it.
for the Cubs?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nope, absolutely not.
We're always taking more Giants fans. It's fine.
Always.
Is there any coach in particular that's helped you the most? I know you said your dad was kind of your coach growing up, so we'll remove your dad from the equation here. But any of your
Okay.
coaches that have helped you the most?
I mean, my one summer ball coach has really helped me a lot, and then my D3 assistant coach, Zach Bayrider. He's not the assistant at UW Whitewater, but he's helped me a lot. I mean, just because I was there for 4 years, and I'd say, "Hey, you want to go hit?" And then we go hit. He'd throw me a million baseballs to his elbows, barking, and then hit me grounders. All right, let's go hit grounders. Like he was a huge help in becoming the baseball player I am today, and even like leader on the field and stuff like that. We just have a lot of good conversations about that stuff. So say him probably.
Okay.
Or I've had a lot of good coaches because my one other coach because my high school coach his name's Charles Bolden. He was a huge help as well. Uh, I found him in travel ball, and then he helped me get to UW Stout too. And he's like the same way, just like, hey, you want to go hit? We'll go hit. And he's helped me almost be like an advisor throughout my college and pro career so far too, as well.
Nice.
I've been fortunate, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys have anything else?
Just skimming comments to see if we missed any.
I was gonna say, are there any other pro ball players that just recently went to UIC with you?
Yeah, I mean Zelensky, the one, and then we've been training with Kendall Ewell. He's not in affiliate ball, but he's playing indie ball. So, and actually, I guess he didn't go to UIC, but Donovan McIntyre, who's with the Giants, is actually training with us now too. So
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I haven't seen.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. We got a good little setup going there with and there just happens to be 3 Giants there, so UIC is a big help with that.
Yeah. That's good. All right. I think we got to everything in the chat pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I was double checking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got everything. So, I mean, hey, thank you so much for hopping on here. We'll have you, if you can, stick around for like a few minutes afterwards, just because it's like I told you kind of before we went live. Like, I think baseball does kind of a terrible job of marketing its future players, and it's just fun to have these opportunities. So,
Yeah, thank you for having me. That was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, Charlie, do you have any like socials that you want to share with people? Tell them to follow Charlie. I know you're on X. I think you're on Instagram as well.
Yeah, I don't
You
know
might
what
run
my
into him on
handle is.
Fortnite.
Look up my name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it says Charlie Szykowny something on Instagram. Yeah. We'll see you in the battlefield, I guess.
Yeah. And I'll
Oh my
throw his links in
gosh.
the description. I'll add them in there so you guys can follow him there. It's also on the post I shared on X. You can find him there. So make sure you follow Charlie. For those of you that want to watch him play next year, go check out minor league baseball TV is the best way to do it. I find so you can definitely catch his games wherever he ends up next season, which is that'll be pretty exciting. So yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. You guys have a good one.